Okay, I want to talk to you now about the STARS guide. It is to be found at, I'm going to write this in up here, forgive my sloppy writing, stars.troy.edu. Okay, the good folks down at Troy University host this system for everybody in the state of Alabama. So the AGSC, the Articulation and General Studies Committee, and then STARS is an acronym for Statewide Transfer and Articulation Reporting System. I encourage any student who plans to transfer to a university to finish a bachelor's degree, you need to get a STARS guide. Nursing students, you may only be planning to do the 2-year degree in nursing at Bevill State, but I would still recommend that you get a STARS guide for nursing so that you can see what else is required to get that bachelor's in nursing. Now, if you are hoping to go to pharmacy school, or if you're pre-med or pre-veterinary, there's not going to be a STARS guide for that because those are not bachelor's degree granting programs. Those are graduate level, usually doctoral level programs. Now, quite a few students come to Bevill for 2 years and move on and get into pharmacy school at Samford, but there's still not a guide for that. Okay. So you're going to want to get the guide. So we'll click on Start here. You need to do an official STARS guide. So you click on that and you're going to select over here that you're at an Alabama Public 2-year community college, part of the Alabama Community College system, which Bevill State is part of. If you're transferring to an Alabama public 4-year university. There is also this system if you're transferring from a public 2-year college to a private 4-year university or college. And this is not as detailed as the STARS guide for the public 4-year universities. So your public universities, of course, are Alabama and Auburn, UAB, North Alabama, South Alabama, West Alabama, Jacksonville State, Montevallo, Alabama State. So you'll find all of those in this system. So if that's what you're doing, then go ahead and click here. And at this point, it's going to ask you for your information. You're over here, you're going to tell them that you are at Bevill State, and you're going to select a major. Now, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to put all this information in. So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to go in over here on the unofficial side. This lets us see the guides without having to type in all of the personal information. First thing, where are you? Bevill State. Second thing, I'm going to say I'm an advisor. And then the third thing is for what major. Now, that I know the top of it has gone off screen out of your view, but you can see agricultural science. That program is at AU, Auburn University only. Animal biohealth science is available only at Alabama A&M. Then there's an animal sciences program, an anthropology program. So a lot of these are very general, and some of them are only available at certain universities. Sometimes students come in and tell me they want to be a pharmacist, and I say, where do you plan to go for that? And they say, Alabama. And I'm like, sorry, Alabama doesn't have a pharmacy school. So we'll find that programs are only located at certain colleges. So in keeping with just a very broad and general field here, let's see, something that a lot of people end up doing that maybe while they're at Bevill State, they're simply in general studies or liberal arts. Might be, I'm having a hard time picking something. Let's look at history. I know there aren't that many history majors out there anymore, but let's take a look at the guide. Now, this is an unofficial transfer guide. You need to get an official guide, and you're going to need to print that. And historically, our libraries print those for no cost. Here are the instructions, and notice this in bold print, and you got one word here that's in all caps, bold print, oversized print. Must be pretty important, huh? In order to obtain a complete transfer agreement, you must also print the Area 5 page for your major for the institution you're going to transfer to. Okay, I will come back to that statement at the appropriate time and show you how to do that. So if you've already watched my video about the General Studies Bevill State degree plan, this should look somewhat familiar. Area 1 is written composition, and it requires 6 SH, that's 6 semester hours of credit. And that's exactly what a Bevill State degree plan would say for a history major. Yes, Bevill State has a history degree plan, but the general studies will work. So anyway, moving on. So that means you need to take English 101 and 102, 3 semester hours each. Area 2, just like a Bevill State degree plan, is Humanities and Fine Arts, where the requirement is 12 semester hours. You would choose at least 3 semester hours of literature from this list below. Now, these are all the literature courses that we offer. You can pick any of them. One thing with literature, you can do literature 2 before literature 1. You can do literature 2 and never do literature 1. So your choices are American, English, and World. Everyone would need a 3 semester hour course in the arts. Same thing as a Bevill State degree plan. That's the first thing in Area 2 on a Bevill State degree plan. Now, like I said, most students opt for either Art 100, which is art appreciation, or music appreciation, music 101. If they have the letter A by them, they are considered a fine arts course. Bevill State occasionally has art history 1 and 2 in an online format, and we have had theater appreciation in the past. It's not recently. The remaining hours in Area 2 should be chosen from this list. Now, what Bevill State does is they step in and they take these right down here at the very bottom, speech 106 and 107, and say, we want you to pick one of these. So you will have to do speech for Bevill State. Now, that leaves one other course to be taken. So now you could come back up here and choose to do the second literature, to have a sequence of like 251 and 262, or 251, 252, or 271, 272. But if you don't do a literature sequence, then after doing one literature, a fine art, speech, you could pick from this list. Now, we don't offer all of these. We do usually have these 2 philosophy courses offered online, and we normally have all 3 of these religion courses, and we occasionally have Spanish. You could even opt to take both speech 106 and 107, but most do that. Okay, so Area 2, 12 hours, you need at least 1 literature, a fine arts course. For Bevill State's purposes, you need speech, and that works on this STARS guide, and then 1 other course off of that section. Area 3 is science and math, just like it is for the Bevill State degree plan. Here are the science courses that are acceptable, and again, we don't have all of these. We offer biology 103 and 104. We offer chemistry 104 and 105, 111 and 112. We have the physical science courses on most campuses. The Jasper campus has physical science 1 in the summer. Hamilton has it in the spring, and I think they're now offering it in the summer as well. Physical Science 2, Physical PHS 112, Summiton offers that, and I believe Dr. Johnson does that in a hybrid format, so you get your lecture material online and just come to campus for labs. Of course, right now with COVID-19, we're doing everything online, but that may change back. And then there's Physics, 201 and 202, 213 and 214. Now, some of these have math requirements. Biology doesn't, but you need to at least be in Math 098 to take Chemistry 104. You need to at least be in Math 112 to take Chemistry 111. You could not just take 112. You have to do that after doing 111. And to get into 112, you have to have already passed Math 112. For Physics 201, you need to have already had trigonometry. That's Math 113. For Physics 213, you need to have already had Calculus 1. So you don't just jump in and take just any of these. So 2 science classes, they're 4-hour courses because the lab time gives more credit. And then you need a math class. Now for a history major, Math 110 is adequate. That's all you would ever need. You could opt for Math 112. And again, which one you take is kind of going to depend on your placement scores. All right. For Area 4, this is where the history, social and behavioral sciences are. So again, we're looking at a history major, so you would have to complete a history sequence. Now, you could still complete a literature sequence up in Area 2, but it wouldn't be required because you would have completed one of these 3 history sequences. Then you need 6 hours, 2 classes from this list of social and behavioral sciences. So these are courses in anthropology, economics, geography, political science, psychology, sociology. Area 5, again, remember, we're looking at a history degree. There are no really specific, only one thing, take a second 6-hour sequence in history. So if you took U.S. history back up in Area 4, then you might do Western civilization for Area 5. All right, remember that it said something to the effect way back up at the top that in order for your STARS transfer agreement to be complete, you must also get the Area 5 page for the university you're transferring to. So here are the state universities in Alabama where a person can go and get a bachelor's degree in history. So you would click on the Area 5 page for the school of your choice. I'll pick Jacksonville State. Okay. And once you get there, you will, you will choose your major from that list. So again, we'll go down here and find history and fine-tune the requirements for them. So let's see, in Area 1, they want to see or higher in English Comp. In Area 2, required to take 2 literature courses. Now you see, Bevill State's degree does not require you to take 2 literatures. But this is where the Area 5 page on STARS comes in and says, well, if you're coming here to major in that, then you're going to have to do this. Students are required to take speech in this major. Students attending a community college should take speech 106 or 107. So each university is going to have their own little fine-tunings. In Area 5, CIS 146 is required, which that's fine. Bevill State requires it anyway. Now they do want foreign language. And of course the only foreign language offering we typically have at Bevill State is Spanish. And we typically only have online class with Spanish 1 in the fall and Spanish 2 in the spring. Of course, the history sequence that you didn't take in Area 4, and then there would be some electives. In other words, you just elect to take and choose it. Print the page, fill in your name, the date, attach it to your STARS guide. That makes it complete. Now, if you have a STARS guide and you transfer to one of the state universities, they are required by law to accept what you took at Bevill State, as long as it was on that STARS guide. So it's a very good idea to get a STARS guide, print it, and print the Area 5 page that goes along with it. Now, let me go back here. And I'm going to go back and we can look at something else besides history. But a point that I would like to make by doing this is that while Bevill State has degree plans for a lot of different areas, the general studies degree plan will allow you to take just about anything that the STARS guide would call for. The individual degree plans, like the business degree plan, the engineering degree plan, and so on at Bevill State, they help guide you more toward these courses. Let's take a quick look. Well, what if you wanted to be a math teacher? So here's math education. Now your Bevill State degree plan might say general studies, or it might say secondary education. Now I have a problem with one called secondary education because if you're going to teach middle and high school, you are probably going to have a special subject area that you teach, unlike elementary where you teach a little bit of everything. So if we look at math education here, it starts the same way. 6 hours of English 101 and 102, at least one literature, a fine arts, speech is required on this one, and then pick from this list for your fourth course, or again, you can go back and you can do an extra fine arts course or an extra literature. Area 3, you need some science classes, of course, 2 of them to total 8 hours. Most universities don't specify any certain one, but that you would know that by going to the Area 5 page. It usually makes sense for a math teacher to have taken a math intensive science course, so something like physics or chemistry that uses a good bit of math would be the logical thing to do. And then you would have to have at least pre-calc trig, which is Math 113, or there is a course, and we don't offer this very often anymore, called Math 115. It's like Math 112 and 113 combined into one 4-hour course. In Area 4, you still have your histories and your social and behavioral sciences. You need at least 3 semester hours of history, and you need a sequence of either history or literature. And again, the university you choose to go to may specify that you need sequences in both, or specify a sequence in literature but not history, or vice versa. And then here are all your social and behavioral sciences. And what about Area 5? Well, you need Calculus 1, 2, and 3 if you're planning to be a math teacher. And before you can take Calculus 1, you have to have had either Math 113 or 115. So, makes sense. And then here are the universities where you can get a bachelor's degree to become a math teacher. And let's look at a different Area 5 page this time. Let's look at UAB's Area 5 page. And again, you find what you want to do. This is pure math, I do believe, although it may. Let's just find out. Let's see here. Area 5, hours approved by STARS, Area 5 math, 9 semester hours, and then the remaining hours you should take differential equations and an additional math course for the major. And then remaining hours by electives chosen from approved courses from areas 2 through 4. There's your contact info, and here's where you would put your name and the date. So I hope this helps, and appreciate you watching.